Kenya at risk of losing 3.7 billion worth anti-malaria nets from the Global Fund. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, has since launched investigations into the scandal, which puts more than 10 million Kenyans at risk of contracting malaria. Our reporter Elizabeth Atieno unpacks what is entailed in the anti-malaria net scandal in this report.
In January this year, Global Fund, a Geneva-based organization, floated a 3.7 billion Kenya shillings tender that called for the winning bidder to supply 10.2 million treated bed nets to several counties from November this year to July 2024 in a mass campaign against malaria. However, things took a different twist in February, where the Ministry of Health and Global Fund clashed on the specifications of nets to be distributed. The push and pull between the Ministry of Health and Global Fund led to the extension of tender closing date from 23rd February to 10th March 2023. As of the tender closing date, a total of 16 bids were received, opened and evaluated. On the 6th of April 2023, the Tender Evaluation Committee released its report, where it was established that 11 of the 16 bidders were not responsive, with only 5 responsive by KEMSA. According to Global Fund, 2 of the 5 bidders KEMSA settled on failed to meet mandatory documentation requirements and were therefore not in a capacity to proceed to the financial and post-qualification phase. According to Global Fund, the only companies that met all the requirements of both Kenyan and Global Fund procurement laws and guidelines is Premium Movers and China's Tianjin Yorkool, which was unfairly excluded from the tender evaluation. The 3 companies, Vika Polymers PVT, Shobika Impex, and Partech East Africa, which was to distribute polyester nets, were ranked as qualified by KEMSA, but were disqualified by Global Fund. Global Fund has since cancelled the 3.7 billion shillings tender and offered it directly to its own online procurement wing, wambo.org. The Ministry of Health had until the 8th of May to sign the handover document to Wambo, but that is yet to see the light of day. KEMSA is now projected to lose 300 million Kenya shillings in commission. Of this amount, 74 million shillings was meant for procurement and 295 million shillings for warehousing and distribution charges. Global Fund then tasked the Ministry of Health with finding out how and who bungled up the procurement process as a condition for continued collaboration.
Pale KEMSA lazima tuifanyie kazi kubwa kuhakikisha kwamba ile kazi yote itaendelea pale. Tunatumia teknolojia kusort out ile challenges ya cartels. Unajua kuna mahospitali nyingi inaendeshwa kwa pesa za umma na hakuna kazi yote wanafanya, ukora mtupu.
The ministry has since bowed to pressure, which saw Health PS Josephine Mburu sent home over the bungled procurement process.
I will clean up KEMSA. Whatever it takes,
Mr. President,
whatever it costs, I will clean it up.
A major policy statement on education should come from Minister of Education in his ministry. If there's a scandal in KEMSA, there should be Minister for Health.
This move has since elicited mixed reaction, as many ask if PS Mburu was the right person to be sent packing, given that the President, through Executive Order No. 1 of 2023, placed KEMSA under the Department of Medical Services, a position led by Principal Secretary Engineer Peter Tu. Josephine Mburu was the Principal Secretary of Public Health and Professional Standards.
There's a permanent secretary for health, medical services. This other one here is just PS for public health. So it's raising more questions than it answers about the so-called surgery in the ministry.
President, through Head of Public Service Felix Koskei, also revoked the appointment of KEMSA Chair Daniel Rono just 3 months after his appointment and the entire KEMSA board, and appointed Dr. Andrew Muller as the acting KEMSA CEO and Farmers Party leader Irungu Nyakera as chairperson for the KEMSA board. Other members of the board appointed include Hesbon Omolo, the elder brother of Interior PS Raymond Omolo, alongside Bernard Kipkirui Bet, Dr. Jane Masiga, and Jane Nyagaturi. Some of the 23 counties that were supposed to benefit from the Global Fund program include Marsabit, Turkana, Kilifi, Kwale, Mombasa, Siaya, Kisumu, among others. However, this is not the first time the state-owned company is embroiled in a corruption scandal. In March last year, the Global Fund accused KEMSA of failing to account for 908,000 mosquito nets, 1.1 million condoms, and 10 million Kenya shillings worth of tuberculosis drugs that went missing in its warehouse. The Global Fund also raised a red flag over suspected fake suppliers who demanded 1.6 billion Kenya shillings from KEMSA. And as if that was not enough, KEMSA allegedly inflated the value of medicine by 640 million Kenya shillings.
I don't think that this is the only scandal that they have in KEMSA. I think within a short period of time, you're going to be seeing hemorrhage in this government.
On Wednesday this week, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission and the Ministry of Health will launch a survey report on the nature and extent of corruption and unethical conduct in Kenya's health sector. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.